What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. It's one map wonder here, apparently. Blue Lagoon for all of these maps. Not that bad, because it's been a different matchup every single time. Spawn in the left side of the map in the blue color playing as Ra. This time it's Joe, and Rapl on the other side of the map choosing to go with Thor. The map is Blue Lagoon, like I said, and it is the 3 Giraffe Blue Lagoon matchup. This one's exciting. We do see the early Dwarven Gold Mine dropped here by Rapl. Now, this means effectively here in this matchup, if you drop your Dwarven Gold Mine early in this matchup, it means you are rushing. If you don't rush, there is no point to drop Dwarven Gold Mine. I don't care who you are. If your name is Soup and you're crazy and you want to rush against the Ra, completely fine. But if you don't rush in this matchup and you do drop this Dwarven Gold Mine, you are setting yourself up for a very, very difficult time against Ra in this matchup. Ra has got several different anti-Norse strategies plus standard play that he can choose to do, and you absolutely need to have that extra 3,000 gold in your base to deal with some of those strategies that Ra can do. So this is effectively, let's talk Ra strategy here against Thor. So Ra strategy number 1 is Bast against Thor is incredibly strong. You can go for Sphinx raids into Horus. You can go for a classical fight. You can go for Sphinx raids into a heroic age timing push. You can just go Bast into rock raids through Hathor in the heroic age. You can go for Bast to town center as well, with Sphinx beyond that as well. Super strong to boot. There is plenty of different options here, especially on a 3 Giraffe Blue Lagoon. Given that 3 Giraffe Blue Lagoon, if you're unaware, you can get yourself a 430 advance time with 2 monuments. Really, really strong. Beyond all of that, you can, like, Ra can just go for crazy timing attacks with the what do you call it? Like that Giraffe is going to head straight to the town center, it would seem. But you can go for timing attacks and have a very, very good time where that's concerned, as the Giraffe is going to fall next to the town center here, and we'll see how things are going to go. So Rapl here, he has got himself his 6 villagers on food, chucking his villagers over onto wood now, getting his dwarves, and we do see a forward temple going up here for Rapl. I would say this is relatively standard, and it's going to be it should be a fairly aggressive play here from Rapl. We'll see what he's going to go for. He has to basically go for force-setting in this matchup, otherwise you will find yourself having some difficult times here. As Joe decides to go to... what? I mean, he's going over here to pick up the elephant, but how'd he go onto the... Oh, he hasn't got his temple up. Okay. I'm not sure what Joe's doing, but I am going to say the ordering is wrong here by Joe as he finds a relic. He does find the Odin's Wand, negative 20% temple upgrades here. This is a beautiful relic for the Bast strategy. The ordering is wrong here. So Joe could have jumped onto this Giraffe with all of his villagers, thrown his temple down first, and then thrown the monument up later and had an advance time, have his Sphinx out on the map and be doing some pressure. The reason I call Joe out on this all the time, just because I do get some comments about this, that I'm a bit harsh on Joe, is because he is the best Egyptian player currently playing the game by far. He smokes everyone, even Chemo. I would say Joe is a better Egyptian player than Chemo, but Joe's build orders are so bad that it lowers his real rating by about 50 points. That's a big dip at that level. If he goes up 50 points in real rating, he's like 2K. Because right now he's like 1950 to 2K. He would be 2K to 2.05, 2050 real rating in my opinion with Egyptian if he just got his build orders sorted out. But he's going through Bast, going for a 515 advance time. Rapl on the other hand chooses Freya here, the absolute madman, going through Freya against Ra here. He does spot this location with his Skrelling, so he's going to be able to put some pressure on over here as the Pharaoh attempting to keep himself nice and safe. We do see a little body block there with the granary. There is potential for a forest fire as the units push in onto this position, as Joe's going to be in some very, very very, very rough water going forward because he advanced really, really late here as the villagers going to be getting pulled off of this location, pulling home. We do see an attempt at the longhouse here, and a forest fire could come down. We are going to be seeing that Joe is relatively aware of this as the barracks comes down. No forest fire just yet. Forest fire gets dropped as the barracks coming in. The villagers going to be able to break that one down. Damage coming through onto this position, but doesn't manage to get any villager kills here as Joe manages that crisis well enough as he's going to be pulling back home into his home base. Going to have to jump onto the pigs or something like that. Bast coming through. Joe going to have to throw down some farms or something like that as the Sphinx comes out. Ulfsark does get taken down. Rapl coming through now into this game, making some more Herso, throwing longhouses around the map here. And we'll see how things are going to go. We do see that Rapl doesn't care. He's on the elephant over here, just enjoying time. But there has to be a Sphinx coming through here. There has to be Sphinx coming through. We see the town center coming up on this position. There is double elephant over here for Joe. He's not going to be, he's going to be completely fine here going forward. He didn't drop the relic in the temple on his way past it. Why not? You're making Sphinx. You're going to be getting yourself the upgrades. Drop the relic, you silly Billy. Rapl, on the other hand, continuing to get himself dwarves out on this position, making himself villagers now onto the pigs. Should be getting himself husbandry now as that's queued up. He's got a beautiful amount of hunt over here as the town center is coming through. But like I said, while Rapl did technically go for a slight rush here, Rapl is still going to be in a bit of a trouble going forward. Even after the early game, little bit of early game damage that he managed to do there, he's still going to have a little bit of trouble going forward because gold mines on this map, they're all exposed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. An Eclipse push here is just going to be such a difficult thing for Rapl to hold. And even if he is going for 2 town centers here and seeing what he can do. So this is all going to be timing based by Joe. The question is, what sort of timing does Joe want to go for? And I do think that the heroic timing is just that little bit better against Norse than the Mythic Age timing. Just in case the Norse player manages to get to the Mythic Age through Balder here. As we do see the Sphinx moving around here nicely. Has Joe dropped off the relic? Yes, he has. It's 120 wood for that. And then where is the other one? 160 wood for the next upgrade, making these Sphinx move very, very fast. They got plus above 6 speed there. So that's it's pretty crazy. As the town center does get up for Rapl moving forward, making some dwarves here onto this gold mine. Wall's going to attempt to come through here as well as the Herso does great. These Sphinx gets a couple of whacks off, but they're still very, very healthy moving forward here. The elephant here getting eaten up very nicely. As maybe Joe might want to try and pull this elephant in as well before Rapl pulls it away and tries to kill it. But yes, the counter, 1 counter to Sphinx is definitely a bunch of walls. But the Sphinx do have crush damage. They are going to be able to take down walls relatively fast, but it does give you a good idea of what's going on as we do see this elephant getting pulled ever so slightly back here. Joe is going to try and get it pulled back in as he does do that nicely here. Let's see how this defense is going to go as the Sphinx gets a couple of hits over here as the villagers are able to pull the elephant nice and close to this location. More Sphinx coming in over onto this location here as Joe should be getting himself that next upgrade onto those Sphinx. Not just yet. He's getting economic upgrades instead as more longhouses coming down for Rapl as he is spreading out all across the map. You see the villagers pulling back over here, going to be grabbing their goats nicely as Joe is attempting to get to the next stage. She's got such a beautiful gold mine as well here. This is going to be such a difficult time for Rapl to defend because normally against the timing pushes that Ra can do against Thor, Thor will have himself Frost. But with the advent of Eclipse, you don't have Frost. And not only that, if you can time rain to follow the Eclipse, ooh, that's disgusting. Or even rain while you move across the map and then the Eclipse straight away while you push in to prevent any sort of early frost as the villagers moving up to this location. They can grab this gold mine here, which may be not a bad idea as the game moves on. Rapl sitting at some decent amount of resources here as his units getting pushed back by the Sphinx as they are now Hierarcho Sphinx. I don't know if that's how you spell it. Hierarcho Sphinx? Not sure. Anyways, they're going to be looking around, trying to snipe some villagers, but honestly, Rapl has played this one nicely. He's kept himself nice and defensive here going forward. He has run out of hunt thus far. I mean, there are zebra here, but he doesn't really want to grab them. But he's run out of hunt, so we'll have to start farming here, jumping onto his berries and everything else. Oh, there is an elephant over here, I guess, so he's got a little bit more hunt, so he should be okay. As the raiding cavalry trying to get in here, and we see a very early... Oh, I hate that. I hate that eclipse by Joe. I don't care how many raiding cavalry are going to hit here. I don't care. Yes, the Sphinx move ridiculously fast, and you're going to get a good amount of damage done, but... the eclipse timing push is so much better. He's gonna and Rapl can just run around here. He's not that fast, but oh dear, we are going to be seeing the Sphinx moving in. They will spot some villagers though. That's going to be a good amount of damage here, as they get 2 hit, I believe, by the Sphinx, and the Sphinx do a lot of damage. The other thing that happens, this is little known fact, is when you do click eclipse, you get a big bonus on the favor generation here. Let me just check what it is. You get an extra 30% monument gather rate. So that's like he's got 2 monuments here. As this phase gets almost cleaned up. 5 HP remaining. More villagers getting taken down. As we see the raiding cavalry going for a big attack over here as the Sphinx are not in the right position here. The Migdol stronghold doesn't get completed though, as the Rock tries to pick this one up, pulling the villagers over onto this location. The Sphinx going to be returning back over here to try and pick these guys off, as now we see the Migdol is up. The cavalry coming through, as Joe here, he needs to defend this position. The villagers are going to continue to get wasted here. There is still a locust now available for Joe, as well as this Rock to pick this one off and kind of hit like this location over here, or maybe a different gold mine or something like that. Moving forward here, if we take a look at what Joe can actually see, he does spot the gold mine over here and over here, so he knows what's to be expected, so he can go for that. This Pharaoh can heal this Sphinx all the way back up to full HP. If you take a look at what the healing rate is, HP per second is 10 HP per second, so it will take quite a few seconds to reheal these Sphinx, but it's well worth it to do that here. So we'll see what Joe's plan is going forward, but Rappl's going to be stoked that Joe wasted his eclipse there, because now he can just eclipse whatever push is coming forward, buy himself time to get Mythic Age and go through Balder, and then those myth units are going to be wiped off the face of the planet with his Hersa. Alternatively, you can just make Frost Giants as well as an option here, as the raiding cavalry are coming in. These raiding cavalry are not so useful here, as we do see the rain getting dropped by Joe immediately here. I don't know if that was to block the potential frost here or something, but honestly, Thor wants to hold Frost for the Son of Osiris in this matchup most of the time, because the Rock is just such a tough time. But we are seeing these Sphinx trying to do their best job here to hold on to this position. I'm surprised to see Joe retreating here. He does have the big advantage in this fight with those Sphinx and the cavalry, so he should be able to win this one. But there are those Herso that can really shut down his Sphinx nicely, but they're kind of not getting into this fight that easily, as Joe's still retreating away, as Rapl is kind of throwing his units away somewhat at this point here. Does Rapl have an armor upgrade or something? Not really. He's just got no armor for the melee units there. But Rapl's doing his best here to hold on or put pressure onto Joe. Joe's got lots of resources in the bank. He needs to think about maybe taking villagers off of wood here if he's not going to be making any chariot archers or anything like that. The other thing that Joe could do is actually go for a timing attack with like 2 rocks and chuck all his units in and just move around the side and just attack this town center or something like that. So we do see the Pharaoh able to take down this Frost Giant, as the Frost Giant does manage to freeze a Sphinx there, but that's... I mean, it will be enough to pick off the Sphinx, actually, with the Hersa helping out. And now we do see Rapl has got his health heavy raiders here, as Rapl is still trying to put the pressure on, still pumping out villagers. He's over on the corner gold mine over here and over here, as Joe gets pushed back inside of his base. He's really struggling here to produce, trying to make another Migdol stronghold, it would seem now, to get himself some more production here. But with the advent of heavy raiders, Rapl's pressure is starting to mount and looking very scary, as the cavalry does spot this location. He doesn't need to use locust over here. There's not that many dwarves, so he will be able to pick these off pretty nice, as we do see the frost coming in here. That's 22 villages worth of frost here onto this position, but is it going to be enough? Rapl is saying he wants to get the gold staff over and done with now, and basically saying he's fine with dealing with the Son of Osiris if it comes, because he's going to get enough of an advantage out of this frost. We do see the market coming through. Joe immediately sells 1,000 wood there as the dwarves retreating away here. A locust onto this position would hurt Rapl so much going forward here, so we'll see if that's going to be something that Joe can think about here. As the other Migdol now getting taken down. He's got himself about 15 seconds remaining to pick off this Migdol and shut down this gold mine, which he very well might be doing, as we do see that locust coming in onto this location, hurting the food income of Rapl quite significantly here. But what Rapl could do, he doesn't have a hill fort just yet, so he's going full send on the raiding cavalry as the Migdol getting closer and closer to falling. This Pharaoh here needs to get taken down, and it looks like the units here are going to be getting cleaned up somewhat as Joe is able to hold here. Oh, his Pitsukos does get frosted there by the Frost Giant. Rapl hurting just a little bit now after that locust. The raiding cavalry coming in onto this position, but the dwarves going to be fighting back, losing a couple of them, but he will be able to deal with that raid moving forward here as the Pharaoh almost able to finish off this Frost Giant over here. And Rapl, he's still sitting in this position, but he has to retreat back. Let's look at the upgrades. He's got some decent upgrades here. If he was full bronze there, he definitely could have held in that position and maybe even got a gold staff, but no resources available to make that happen, as the farms have to get thrown back up here for Rapl. How is his upgrades looking? He's only got plow, nothing else. Just in the corner grabbing this this hunt over here as the cavalry do get finished off. As Joe's now going to continue to make himself Pitsukos. And it looks to me that Joe has held, for the time being, lots of economy in the bank for Joe going forward. He's going to look to grab this town center in the near future. Lots of idle villages that need sorting out, but Joe's actually completely fine now. Moving forward, he's going to maybe grab this gold mine over here, grab this gold mine up here, and look to potentially get himself heavy cavalry moving forward, as the raiders do have some sort of sneaky suspicion that something's going on over here. These raiders with bronze mail completely own cavalry. If you have enough of an advantage with the raiders, they will very, very easily win these fights. The Pitsukos does get hit. Can he attack it through the gate, though, or not, is the big question. Yes, he can. So we might be able to deal with that Pitsukos over here as Migdol gets up on this position. The village is moving forward over there as Rapl, I don't think he's got the knowledge that that's happening over there as the villagers finish up on this position. Can jump onto this gold mine or anywhere else if they so choose. There's more Frost Giants coming in over here, causing problems for Joe moving forward. But Joe is just slowly but surely playing Ra here to a T. It might seem like Rapl is kind of winning these fights, but in reality, I don't feel like he is really trading that well. And now we've got ourselves heavy cavalry coming through for Joe. Joe's got plenty of economy moving forward in this game as well. As the cavalry retreat back, he's trying his darnest to get as many of these units out as he possibly can. Walls coming up over here. Barracks in the top corner going for some side builds as well, as Joe wants to secure those locations. As the heavy cavalry getting taken down here. These raiders are going to be retreating back, as I mean, Rapl does still have the Ragnarok up his sleeve here. He's on 2 town centers, still pumping units very nicely. He's getting his market set up over here. I don't see him getting any more upgrades over here, but his units just kind of bounce off the heavy raiders now that Joe is kind of sorted this out. Joe's also got himself copper mail as well, so there's no real armoring advantage remaining here for Rapl, as the Pharaoh pops out here trying to take the Frost Giant down. The raiders retreating back here as the cavalry chasing them away. Now the barracks has been spotted up here by Rapl. We'll see if you'll notice that or not, as the villagers are going to sneak around and wall this off as well. As villagers are going to start getting taken down on this position, as the Pharaoh and the priest are going to be able to take down that Frost Giant, but the The micro from Rapl trying to pick off this one. Rapple's trying his best to stay alive in this game. Osiris now coming through. Nice rock micro there by Joe to keep his Pharaoh and his Priest alive. We can retreat back, heal those back up. As we see on this position, a handful of spearmen going to be coming through to take out these villagers. Joe still hasn't tried to grab this town center just yet. Rapl, on the other hand, he is getting himself this town center on the back of the map, but that's going to take a long time for him to get that one up, as the walls over here slowly coming through. He's got this wall up over on this position. The dwarves trying to fight back, but even if they slowly pick those off, we see 4 town centers coming up for Rapl. This is a spicy play here. He has no counter to the Son of Osiris. He's got no way to get to the next stage. He's got himself 30 villagers on food right now, but the villagers over here aren't gathering. So, I mean, he's got a lot of villagers on that. He's making himself Ulfsark to deal with these heavy raiders. So if he can get himself heavy infantry here, he should be okay on this position. But I imagine that we're going to start seeing some sort of access to axemen coming through for Joe, as well, as he's going to be well prepared for sort of an infantry tech switch here. As the ox carts come over here to mine that location nicely. Town center is up for Rapl. He's on 3 town centers, going on 4 town centers here. As we check the upgrades up, we do have ourselves winter harvest and irrigation. So the food economy of Rapl is going to be well sorted out here as heavy infantry come through. And Rapl has managed to find himself in a good position here. The question is going to be, can Rapl deal with the Son of Osiris going forward or not? As Joe is going to be going up probably through, he's already getting himself fortified town centers, getting himself a siege works onto this position to start sieging down this town center, and slowly but surely chipping away at this position to get himself 4 town centers in this game. Rapl, on the other hand, is going to be throwing farms down over here, still trying to advance to the next stage. This gold mine is going to get picked off, and now this is looking like a bit of a different situation to last game. If you remember the Hades getting the gold staff onto the Isis, there's a real big possibility here that the opposite can happen, because Joe's got full control of the top side of the map. This gold mine is not controlled just yet, but Joe's easily going to be able to get control of that one, as Rapple's gold income is looking very, very scary right now. Imagine holding on to Dwarven Gold Mine at this time. Just saying. But, I mean, Rapl, he might feel like, well, maybe the best play here is just to say, all right, no problem. I'm going to put everyone onto wood, sell wood, get to the Mythic Age ship, and then just Ragnarok, because he doesn't have any gold left in this game. He's got no way forward as the village is retreating up. Maybe going to look to grab this gold mine over here. Rapl does manage to trade himself to the next stage. He's clicked up through Balder, and this is going to be it. An all-in Ragnarok coming the way for Joe. Are we going to see any attempt at a slight trade route coming through here? We do see that the markets are up in the corner of the map. Some trade would be beautiful here. Are we seeing that? We aren't just yet. The villagers over here trying to mine this gold mine as the ox cart a little bit out of position, holding on this position. We are seeing the catapult moving forward here, trying to take this one down, as the villagers checking out on this location here. They are going to lose their life. The gold mine finishing up over here. Rapl will need to deal with that. We're seeing some spearman raids coming through over here, trying to take down the ox cart here. Still no trade for Rapl. Please just make a handful of trade. You're about to lose the town center, so you can't deal with this anymore. Let's check out Joe's perspective now. So many resources in the bank for Joe. He's going to need to get himself axemen, medium axemen, heavy axemen, champion axemen. Immediately he'll be able to afford all of that. The spearman raids are still coming in over here as the villagers retreating back. The Ulfsark coming up onto this position over here as the walls coming through for Joe. He's going to grab this town center immediately, as we see. Look at that. Catapult raids immediately by Joe moving forward. He is an Egyptian player through and through. But Rapl will have an answer to this, because he will have access to Fire Giant. Fire Giant are more than capable of dealing with a rock here. And he does drop the catapult out here. Will this be fast enough, though? 2 shots coming in, as we see 99%, and it does pop out here. He will get the Fire Giant there. That's going to be a dead rock and catapult. Immediate Ragnarok coming through for Rapl. 351 population. Nearly full bronze upgrades here for Rapl, as he's actually... is he actually just ignoring that? No, you can't ignore the rock. You need to keep your town centers alive here. It's a very real possibility here that Joe's going to be completely fine to defend this, and you just need to make sure you get back into a decent position to go into the late game here. But if you lose your town centers, we see the rock running straight over this town center as it's going to get at least a little bit of damage done as Joe's not paying attention as the heroes of Ragnarok going to be surrounding this position. There is no rock over here to pick up the Son of Osiris, so the Son of Osiris is going to be a little bit in a bit of a dicey position as this Ulfsark getting a little bit of damage done. We see the Son of Osiris trying to retreat away from this position as it's definitely going down. Rapl's got some decent amount of resources in the bank here, but still no access to a trade route. Losing this town center is going to be devastating here for Rapl as well. But the Son of Osiris gets surrounded. Beautiful. What? Huh? The Son of Osiris gets surrounded, right? Yes, the Son of Osiris gets surrounded, and Rapl has such a ridiculous advantage going forward now after picking that one off, as Joe did not prepare at all for this location. We see Heroes of Ragnarok moving up onto the top side of this location. Going to be looking to take down some villages on the gold over here. Joe's economy here, he's got a decent amount of economy, but he is dropping down population ridiculously fast. 88 of 110 population. Their houses getting taken down. Rapl's Ragnarok is absolutely gigantic. Joe not paying attention to his catapult going forward here. The villagers getting taken down over on this position. We see the Rag heroes coming through, going to try and take down this Migdol stronghold. Got to do a little bit of micro over there for Rapl, but Rapl is just going straight for the jugular here. We've got ourselves fortified town centers, stud-dried mud brick, masons, no architects, so one more building upgrade could be coming through for Joe here. He's not grabbing it, but the town center will go down. Rapl still sitting 283 population. You can grab this town center as well after all is said and done, as we do see that the rock moving in onto this position, going to be taking down the home town center here, as well as, I mean, looks like Rapl doesn't even have a temple here to make himself fire. Just send the fire giant home, Rapl. Rapl feels like he's won this game at this point, but the villagers are retreating away. We are seeing some axemen coming in on this point to defend this one, but some heavy raiders over here going to start taking down some villagers off of these gold mines. You can see how many gold position over here that Joe's got. He's throwing down houses, desperately trying to stay alive here as the Heroes of Ragnarok moving in onto this position here. Joe's got himself 84 population, plenty of resources, but he is housed here as the houses are desperately trying to shoot back up. We see the Migdol going down. The town center is going to be coming down, as well as Mercenary coming out onto this position. How is Joe going to be holding on this position? He's taking down this location here. He's going to be able to take down the third town center of Rapl. It's going to be 0 town centers apiece here moving forward. No Mercenary going to be able to be built from Joe anymore. As the town center goes down, that's going to mean this fire giant is going to be ridiculously difficult to get taken out here as well here, as the town center does get taken out, and the Migdol stronghold will be falling. All the rest of the units in the top side of this location over here, as Rapl spots this, he will spot the houses as well, so he can take those down. That's actually the most value that he can pick off here, is those houses, as the villagers also getting taken down. Joe's got 15 villagers remaining over here as the Heroes of Ragnarok coming through to take these ones out. Rapl does have not very many resources remaining. He does have the trade started. He can sell some food here for some gold. It's worth a little bit, and buy some wood to get himself the town centers if he so chooses, as the Heroes of Ragnarok are retreating away from this location, as Joe's trying to muster a little bit of an army going forward. Where are the villagers? He's got one villager over there. That's it remaining in this position. The rest of the villagers are sitting at the top over here, as Joe is trying to muster an army. He's got 100 population remaining, mostly just axemen. He's got himself bronze mail going forward, no food economy. He's got one army, and one army only remaining as this town center is coming back up. The catapult's going up to their houses now. Nice play by Joe, as he is trying to get as much done as he possibly can. Rapl kind of needs to just ignore this for the time being, because he can just move up here and take this out. Now Joe can buy food here as well. Remember that. He has a market. He can buy food going forward here, as this town center will inevitably come back up. That the towers are up, but Joe is getting so much damage done by picking off these houses here, as the fire giant, I mean, where are you going, Rapl? You know he's up here. You've seen all of his villages. Look at this. Joe's got himself 44 villages on gold right now, trying to muster some sort of a comeback here in this game, trying to take down the temple here, take down everything in on this position. The rock coming back in onto this position, sees the town center is up, sees the catapult, sees the houses, sees this town center is here. Rapl here at this point is 120 out of 80 population, trying to throw his houses back down on this position. I would love to see these houses in like a very defensive position back here though, as the Rag heroes come through. As Rapl, he can't stay here and defend this. We need to see the Fire Giant getting back onto that position as the Rag hero is going to be leaving this location. Will there be any attempt by Joe to grab his town centers back, or is he just going to sit on one town center here moving forward as these houses do go down? The catapult's going to try and take down this town center as Rapl is not going to be able to get his economy back anytime soon here. This is as all in as it gets. Joe's got tons of gold in the bank. He's got his market. We are seeing the market getting taken down, but Joe can just rebuild the market for free because he is Egyptian. As these units do get taken down, the rock going to be retreating away. It's 70 HP, and that's like 1 or 2 shots from a Fire Giant here as Rapl, he's got just a little bit of wood here trying to rebuild his houses. 120 of 90 population, so he can go up to 130 or 130 on 2 town centers, as he doesn't have fortified town centers just yet. Trying to break through this wall is going to be a tough time here as the Fire Giant moving over here, looking to take out the rock. Joe being sneaky, going to pull his rock back. But it looks to me that Rappel's Heroes of Ragnarok have been dealt with relatively nicely here, and Joe takes this opportunity to move back in onto this position, getting his town center. Plenty of resources remaining for Joe as Joe does the impossible here, loses his entire base, moves into the corner of the map, utilizes the rock raids to take the town center down. But you do have to remember that, I mean, Rapl had the counter to this, but he just chose not to do it. Joe just chose not to do it here as the Fire Giant moving in over here. We see the Fire Giant now getting countered by the Pharaoh here as the Pharaoh comes in to deal with the Fire Giant. That's going down. The town center getting taken down. Joe gets his town center back. He's going to be able to move in and grab this one fairly soon as well. The Maxman taking down everything here as the Fire Giant does fall. The town center going to fall, as well as Rappel's economy is absolutely shot. He does have a handful of ox caravans getting built here. 1 town center, 2 markets to rebuild his economy. Not that many at all moving forward as the catapult moving over here to take down the houses here. Rappel's trying to get his town center, his temple up to make some Fire Giants, but he just doesn't have the resources to make that work here. As the Heroes of Ragnarok retreating back, and Joe says, I'm going to build a wonder. And Rappel's like, all right, Joe, I get it. You've got resources up the wazoo. I did not do enough damage with my rad rocket. I'm going to tap out here. GG, water hold by Joe. Rapl almost made it work. But Joe, just with the sneaky rock catapult drops here, had Rapl just simply dealt with that, he would have had all his houses still remaining. He would have gotten his economy back into gear very fast. He had 3 town centers up. He had the markets. He could have gotten the 4th town center up over here. He could have stolen this town center himself and stolen the enemy farms as well if he so chose. Plenty of options here for Rapl if he didn't lose his town centers. It was not as all in as one might have expected, but with Joe doing that damage while he was taking damage, sneaking into this top corner with all the walls, getting all the axemen up, managing to stay alive, he managed to make it work here. GG, well played by Joe. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.